Alright, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is afternoon here over on the US Pacific Coast, but obviously if you're watching the YouTube video, it may be any time of the day. So welcome! We are now in the playoffs, the B-League playoffs for the After Hours Gaming League Season 4. We're starting round 1 here between Google Pigeon Rank and Reed Group. And we're going to kick this guy off on Daedalus Point. The format here for the B-League playoffs is exactly the same as the regular season matches, the round robin. It's a best of 5 with the first 4 players for each team determined ahead of time. And the ace match, should it be necessary, is decided dynamically after the record is reached 2-2. Both teams will, in isolation, pick their ace player and race for the final map, which will have been pre-decided. So we're going to start off here with a ZVZ between Google Pigeon Rank's Null Space and Reed Group's Dacian. I'm going to call him that might be Dacian. I'm going to call him Dacian though. We have Dacian spawning here and the orange trunks in the top left position versus Null Space spawning here in the green trunks in the bottom right. Quick drones coming out. Nobody's 7 pooling. No one is 6 pooling. This is a 1v1 map, and it is very, very open. This natural is super exposed, so I suspect we're going to see a heavy amount of Ling Baneling aggression from at least one player here in this matchup. Neither player going for the extractor cancel, going for that 9 Overlord instead. We see the orange Zerg's drone a number of seconds ahead. Perhaps just better worker maker? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that gap is from. Like, typically, it's a couple seconds, so it doesn't make that big of a difference, but typically seeing a 3 to 4 second difference this early on in the game is a little surprising. So we'll see if that snowballs into anything later on. Overlords look like they're going to pass here in the middle. We have a drone scout going out for Dacian here. Null Space relying purely on his overlords. Looks like he will be getting that pool. No, he's gonna... Oh, he's going to scout. He's going to scout around, and then he's going to go for this hatchery. Looks like Dacian's going to try to block that hatchery here, having gone for pool first himself. Relatively economical pool. I believe that was a 14 pool. Null Space trying to get down this hatchery, but Dacian is doing a great job of blocking it. So he will be forced to get a pool himself, but it's a fair bit delayed, over 30 seconds behind his opponents, so he's going to be on the defensive anyway. Could attempt to bring down a second drone here, try to box Dacian's drones out. He cannot win with this drone, he's losing the boxing match. Dacian microing the crap out of this drone here, keeping him zoned out, denying that hatchery. And now we see 4 Lings and a Queen building for the orange Zerg. What's the APM on these guys? We see Dacian's APM is skyrocketing, going up to over 200 for a little bit there. And it looks like he will abandon the hatchery now. We'll move away. So Null Space will take that hatchery. But we can see he's quite flustered by this opening denial here. He's getting his gas, but he's got well over 300 minerals in the bank. And we have a spine crawler going down on the edge of the creep here, which will be scouted immediately by this overlord. This looks like it's just a bait, perhaps to distract from these incoming Lings. This spine crawler will have to be cancelled, and it is. We have 6 Lings to 4 here, so Null Space should be able to defend here just fine. Though he just charged down the drone, takes a few extra hits from the other Zerglings for that, but he outnumbers Dacian Zerglings just fine at the moment. These hatcheries ultimately finishing at about the same time, it looks like, but Dacian's speed is well ahead of his opponents. He's a bit behind on drones. He's got 4 lings here and 6 more at home, so we will see him pile on that ling pressure. Doesn't quite have enough gas for that Baneling nest yet, so we are a little bit of a ways away from Baneling aggression. Sending more lings out and leaving some back, so he doesn't want this Overlord to see just how many lings he's making. We're gonna see a massive speedling attack here soon, and Nullspace will have his Baneling nest done soon, but I think not soon enough for this incoming speed flood. He needs to retreat these Zerglings. He cannot be out here. Speed is done. He has just barely enough lings, I think, to take an engagement. But if he had any less, those lings are all dead. We have Orange darting in, but you see a superior ling count here for Nullspace, so he doesn't want to take that engagement. Greenlings run in. They're going to trade here. They got a nice concave on the left, and it looks like they're going to get the better end of this fight. Baneling's way out of position, but the Orangelings will run away from the Queen. We're going to see some intense micro here. 1 Baneling for 3 Zerglings. It's pretty much on the border. I would say that's an even trade in general. 2 lings or 1 ling is inferior. 4 lings is good. 3 lings is kind of neutral. Still only 13 drones here for Dacian. He is ahead in supply, building 2 defensive Banelings, piling up his lings at home. And we see Nullspace here building 10 more lings, a couple drones. Dacian will move out here with these orange lings, but with 3 defensive Banelings positioned nicely on the top of the ramp. We'll see if this one gets 2 kills, not a lot. Another Baneling moving in here. Almost gets a lot of kills there, it only gets 1 ling in the end. The ling count here for Nullspace is inferior, so he has to micro back. He has 1 more Baneling in reserve, but he needs to start thinking about multiple more. Gets only 2 lings for that one. And we see Dacian picking off drones here. 2 more Banelings coming in. Queen does die to these speedlings, and Nullspace is in a bit of trouble here. He does not take no drone losses to that Baneling. 2 more Banelings coming in, and I don't know, does Nullspace not see these? He's got quite a bit of lings here. Manages to get the 1 Baneling, and he will be able to defeat these other lings, but he needs to react to these 2 Banelings. He might take some extreme damage here on the middle row line. He's focusing out here. We'll see what these Banelings, they don't go into the middle line. Seems to be some kind of F2 grab there, unfortunately. One of them will die to the Spine Crawler. And this 1 Zergling will take this other Baneling for free. Ling counts right now are 23 for Dacian and 17 for Nullspace. That is quickly climbing here for Dacian. He will push in here again, but that Spine Crawler offers quite a bit of defense. He doesn't want to engage next to it, and he's particularly scared of these Banelings. He will attempt to run to the main. Perhaps he will try to get this Queen, but there is a heavy ling count here, and he will camp back by the spawning pool. So he'll get decent defense, but he loses all his lings, and this Queen will not survive against the remainder here. We do see Nullspace sitting on a superior drone count for the time being. That could suffer very quickly. A number of drones have been slaughtered here. It's now 14 to 17. The drone count has switched in favor of Dacian. A lot of Overlords here that aren't doing anything. And yeah, we're gonna have GG called here. Just superior aggression, superior micro. And that's it. That's the end of it. Alright, welcome to game number 2, the AHGL B-League Playoffs, round number 1, between Google Pigeon Rank and Reed Group. Google Pigeon Rank is currently down 0-1, losing a ZVZ in the first match. So we're going to a TVT here in the second match between Reed Group's Rodzik and myself, Torkstomp, for Google Pigeon Rank. Builds opening up relatively equal, and we'll see what they do on this map. Habitation Station is a very dense, very chaotic map, particularly for Terran versus Terran. Clip by air, you know, you can start units over here, and then it's just, you know, a hip, skip, and a hop, a jump, skip, and a hop over to the other player's base. Very close by air. This ground in the middle is heavily contestable by siege tanks. A siege tank here can almost hit a siege tank right here. That's how close they are. Holding onto the golds can be very difficult. The ramps here lend themselves well to defense, which is perhaps the one saving grace of this map. The natural ramp is very narrow, so very easily defensible. We'll see. So orange player kicks off with an 11 racks. Alright, so he got his quick depot, and he's getting that racks right just quick. Torque Stomp here, going for a standard 12 racks. Looks like he's checking around with an SCV, double checking for those proxies. And he starts at 12 gas, so he looks like he's going to be doing that Reaper opening, just to scout. Reaper, not particularly good on this map. It can't actually hop up here. It has to go up the ramp. So you've got a little ground to hop up here, but that's about it. Second depot starting already for Rotzik. It seems a little bit early. He'll be able to start his orbital soon, third least, but no taking any gases. He's getting a second barracks. So Rotzik is going to open up fairly aggressively here. We'll see how Torque Stomp reacts to that. Barracks finishing just now. SCV has done the gauntlet, checked all over, except this one little blind spot right here. Checked the gold, and he's now just camping on the watchtower. We do have that Reaper building. Orbitals starting for both players at pretty much the same time. Still no gases for the orange Terran. He's dribbling a fair bit of minerals, so we could see and it's going to make a third barracks. So being very aggressive here on this one base opening. He's going to have to do damage. Reaper finishing here, and we see Torque Stomp going for a quick expansion. So Rotzik definitely has to do a fair bit of damage with this aggressive opening here, or he will be behind. Second supply depot starting. Still no gases, no sign of an expansion. Reaper's running in here, seeing no expansion. A fourth barracks. So this is totally all in. Reaper pops in here, hasn't seen much. Looks like he's going to focus down an SCV. May even get another one. He does get that other one. And it looks like he pulls back. Marines poking out here. Not sure what they're doing. Looks like they're going to the watchtower. Reaper and Marine fighting here. Bit of a skirmish. Tries to pull away from this second Marine, but doesn't get it. He does die. And it looks like the Marines are trying to circumvent around the watchtower. They in fact, we're a little close. This watchtower is not being held at the moment. So, were it being held, though, this Marine would be in vision, just barely. It's going to rally more Marines out, but the Reaper has seen everything. A fifth barracks! No gases at all. And what is Torque Stomp doing? He's just about to finish a factory, sitting only on that one barracks, but he does have a bunker, and that bunker is worth its weight in gold 3 times over right now against this oncoming 6 Marines. Looks like they're not being noticed by this Marine on the watchtower right here. They're just going to camp over here. Tech Lab finishing. Tech Lab starting on the factory. We'll see what decides to do with that. More Marines rallying out, and we'll see Torque Stomp pays attention to this. This Marine at the watchtower does get attacked, and he does see those Marines, so he should be aware that something is up. Is starting that stim pack, has a siege tank on the way. And we'll see what happens here. Marines coming up. That's a lot of Marines. But they're immediately going to trade with this bunker. Focus it down, but SCVs are repairing religiously. And they're focusing down the SCVs, doing some decent worker damage, but they took too much damage on the Marines. These 3 Marines in the bunker are going to town. They will finish everything off here. And at the end of the day, supplies wind up being rather equal. Holy crap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 barracks on one base. That's kind of insane. I didn't know you could forward 8 barracks on one base. You never want to do this. You never want to do this. You know, it's just better to dump into some reactors at some point. Rotzik is still ahead in supply, but he's behind 6 on workers, and he doesn't have an expansion, so Torque Stomp's income is just going to pull ahead. He can keep making Marines all he wants, but Torxon is building stim. He's building siege tanks. He's got an engineering bay done, so he's going to start upgrades. He may have a higher army supply right now, double the Terran players, but the defense is too strong. Terran defense is way too strong, so he will not be able to get anything done with these Marines. Looks like he's going to push in again here, but there's a siege tank in the back. Second siege tank just about to finish. Engineering bay still not being used, but stim is almost done. If he pushes up into here, we'll focus down the bunker, but he's taking siege tank shots, and the splash damage is horrendous. You know, he had double the army supply of his opponent there, and now he's just equal. The Terran defense is simply too strong. We see Torxon pulling way ahead in workers, almost double his opponent's worker count. Pulling SCVs away. We'll finally start that upgrade on the engineering bay. And the tanks are unsieged, so it looks like Torxon's going to think about pushing out. He does have that stim. Rajsik just now starting his refineries, and he's just sitting on a bunch of dead minerals here. This is so many barracks. He cannot afford to produce off of these. He needs to think about tech labs. Looks like there's going to be an engagement here in the middle. And engagement starts, and now it's stim versus no stim. There was an overwhelming Marine count here for the Orange Terran, but Torxon's army is just too strong, and he's going to call GG. He knows he can't stay in this. So that's it. That's the end of game number 2. This brings Google Pigeon rank to be 1-1 versus Regroup. And we will be moving on to game 3 shortly in this best of 5 series. Alright. It is now 1-1 here in the AHGL B-League Playoffs, Round 1, between Google Pigeon rank and Regroup. We're going to be entering a PvP here on Frost, Ladder Edition, between Google Pigeon rank's Shambo and Regroup's Pooty. I can't think of another way to say that. His name is Pooty, apparently. So we'll see where they spawn. Once again, for another time in the AHGL games, we have a PvP on a very blink-friendly map. We'll see, again, if either of these players choose to go for that blink. Alright. They will be spawning cross spawns here. Alright, we have Pooty spawning in the top right, and Rashambo in the bottom left. No immediate probes going out, so the chance of Proxy 2-Gate or of Proxy Forge Cannon Rush is relatively low. Pretty low, I would say, at this stage. Again, because this is a 4-player map, you often don't see a lot of that anyway, because, I mean, you've got two choices. You can either take a gamble and, you know, assume that you'll get the proxy at the right location, which is very risky. You could proxy in the middle of the map, alright, to get close to all of the bases, but take a penalty on the timing of your rush. Or a third option, actually, you could send out multiple probes in order to find the opponent's base as quickly as possible, so you can proxy against it. But that severely cripples your economy, and it will, in fact, slow down the rush. To send out 2 probes so early. We have both probes going here to scout the correct base. We'll see. Orange will see the green probe coming out, so he may or may not be fooled into thinking that, oh, this is the green player's base. But, nope, does not turn around. Goes to verify it for himself. Gateway starting at standard times for both players. A little bit of wasted chrono here. No probes being built. Quick gas here for Pooty. Just a regular 14 gas here. Gas starting up for Shambo soon after. Just Gateway is slightly ahead. We'll see if that comes into play. Second pylon's going down at the same time. Both second pylons in base, although this one is a little further out, so it looks like we're not going to see any aggressive proxy oracle play, or perhaps hidden blinker PTs. Should see that Cybergore going down for Pooty soon. This probe seems to be distracting him quite a bit. He hasn't thrown it down yet. Every second that goes by is Rochambeau Cybercore being further and further ahead. Finally throws it down, but that's 20 seconds. 20 seconds the Cybercore has been building that it hasn't been building for Pooty, so in a early gateway pressure, 20 seconds is a very, very long time. That's half a warp in. If you have a bunch of stalkers in your base, 20 seconds before you can warp them yourself, 4 stalkers can do a whole lot in 20 seconds. Starts that warp gate, and he will chrono it, so the potential for aggression is there. We see Pooty starting his second gateway here, leaving a probe on the natural. Rochambeau's probe, I'm not sure what happened to it. It might have been killed. It might have... Oh no, it's here. It's doing the runaround. We see Pooty's probe running down over here. He will throw down that proxy pylon, it looks like, which will give early eyes on the third, but can also be used for aggression. Two gateways going down here for Rochambeau, and if he continues to jump Chrono into Warp Gate, actually no, he used a Chrono on the Nexus, so Warp Gate will not finish close to these 2 gateways finishing. It actually has time for another round of units out of these. Pooty, relying on his 2 gateways right now, not building from them. He's going to build 2 more here on one base, neither player looking to throw down the Nexus. A Robo going down here for Rochambeau. So both players turtling pretty hard on one base. Pooty sitting on a little bit of gas, even after starting 2 sentries. We'll throw down that proxy pylon. And we see a Twilight here for Rochambeau. He will throw down that Dark Shrine, so it looks like we're going to see Warp Prism DTs. These gateways finally going down. Looks like they were shift queued from the wrong probe for the job. Warp Gate finished for the green Protoss, just now finishing for the orange Protoss. We should see those Warp Gates come in. Bit of a skirmish here. We'll see who takes the advantage. Orange gets the first shot, so green will have to retreat. The Stalker cannot win. But he does distract the Stalker enough in order to get this pylon down. This probe should have seen that, so he will be aware of it. Stalker running for its life. Needs to get back to its buddies, which are now just warping in at home. Those 2 buddies will protect it. We'll see if Pooty engages or if he manages to retreat the Stalker in time. He's not retreating just yet. He's still got a little bit of time. Might take a nope, doesn't round the corner tight enough. So we'll see what happens here. He may go for a force field trap on these. No, he's just going to run. He's going to lose this Stalker. Warping in a bunch of units over here, so it is going to be just some good old 4-gate aggression coming here from the orange Protoss. Dark Shrine is done. Observer on the way. 2 DTs going in here. But, yeah, they'll go. Gonna run down here, and there's no... Robo is only just starting. So, orange Protoss is in a lot of trouble. He's going to attack here, but all that Rochambeau has to do is warp in some defensive DTs. And he'll be fine. Probe line massacred. Not a single probe. 1 probe remains. The one by this pylon right here. We'll move into the base here, but this DT is entirely uncontested. This warp gate here remains powered. This was not in fact Narcos' pylon, although a lot was depowered by the attack. DT attacking his own Nexus. He needs to fix that. That's not something he wants to be doing. Get the DT off your Nexus. There you go. And I'm not sure what happened to the DTs over here. Rochambeau looks like he will be saving most of his probes here. Just needs to keep running them around. Photon overcharge goes down. It's a very long game. I guess the DTs here did get cleaned up. And Well, let's see. Picking up the ashes here after the battle. We see Rochambeau sitting on 14 probes, a superior army, a dark shrine, mothership core with 2 observers, a nexus building, and Goody is sitting on, well, not a whole lot. He's got 4 stalkers, an observer, and 3 probes. Now just building a 4th probe. Still has this probe sitting here by this proxy pylon. He could actually use that for mining. That's kind of important right now. These DTs will be chased away. But the fact of the matter is, he just doesn't have enough firepower, I think, to kill these DTs. He's going to morph in Archons. Best thing that Pudi could do for Rochambeau right now is morph in a sentry. He will do that. He will throw down that force field, and then it will be popped, and he'll be quite sad. It throws down the force field on the Archon, does nothing. There's just not enough firepower here. GG will be called. That's it. Alright, yeah, so after a long while, we're finally starting match number 4 here between Google Pigeon Rank and Reed Group here for the AHGL B League Playoffs, round 1. We had a long array of technical difficulties here. Google Pigeon Rank's GAC, the Zerg player, is in Costa Rica at the moment, and apparently the internet is not so great there. But the latency seems to be fine. We're here in the game, this is live, and he's not stuttering or not getting that window of death popping on the middle, so looks like we're going to have a game here, which is excellent. So the score is currently 2-1, Google Pigeon Rank versus Reed Group. We have Assaulted Peanut, Protoss here, for Reed Group, spawning at the top left, and GAC, the Zerg here, for the green Zerg, for Google Pigeon Rank, spawning here in the bottom left, here on Alterzim's Stronghold, Tournament Edition. We have that pylon going down the base, that standard 9 Overlord, followed by a 10th drone, here for the Zerg. We'll be sending his Overlord north, and it looks like his second Overlord is going to be rallied here initially. He may... Oh no, he's going to rally it... Where is that rallied? Is he rallying it all the way to his opponent? I'm not sure where that's actually rallied. Let's go on out of the picture. Let's find out where the point is. I don't see it. Well, we'll see. Alright. Gateway going down. We have a drone scout going out for the Zerg. Continuing to drone up at home. We'll see if he decides to get that free hatchery in the back of his base. Or if he will even hatch first out here. This is something that you'll often see Zergs do, because Zerg isn't very good at defending the ramp, particularly against a Protoss player. So taking this hatchery leaves you about as vulnerable as taking this one. But he will take this hatchery here in his pocket expansion. Protoss continuing to probe up, gets his 1 geyser. We'll build a pylon in a bit of a wonky position. That's difficult to wall with, if that is his intention. Surprised he's not actually walling with his initial buildings here. No reason not to do that. You can have the strength of a defense on 1 base, or 2 bases, by walling around here. But he will start that cyber core, continuing to chrono boost probes. GAC throwing down that spawning pool. Gas before spawning pool here. And booty. Never mind. So he will put those drones on gas. Looks like he's going to go for some relatively early speed for defense. Drone scouting around here. He hasn't scouted the back, though. That's something that he wants to check, I believe. He wants to know whether or not the Protoss has taken this Nexus, because at the moment, Protoss is powering hard on 1 base. He's not taking that expansion, so GAC should be expecting aggression here. And it looks like he was building a Zealot, but he canceled it at the last second, and instead choosing to build a Stalker. We'll see where he dumps his Chrono. He's got plenty of Chrono dump into Warp Gate, if that's where he wants to go. He will start with just the 3rd pylon now. Queen now starting for GAC. 2 defensive lings. Likely going to hunt down this probe. The Vengeance. And a Forge going down for Assaulted Peanut, so... He doesn't quite know what he's doing here. He's got a almost tight wall with the Stalker. Needs another unit in order to prevent lings running in. Gak continues to happily drone. He's going to have that 1 queen finish. Going to start an Evo. Get some early upgrades, it seems. And I don't foresee him taking a third too soon, as the Protoss is still sitting on 1 base. He's building a Zealot. He's going to have Zealot, Stalker, Mother Core here and run. He's building a Stargate. He's building a Stargate over here, and it's scouted immediately by this Overlord. Oh, that's terrible. Let's see when Gak sees this. Yeah, he's already seen it. He sent his lings over there. And that, oh, that's awful. That's awful, awful, awful. He has to cancel the Stargate. Terrible start here for Assaulted Peanuts. That Overlord timing was... the pylon's going to go down. The probe's already gone, so he's got no map presence. There's an Overlord sitting out here. He could sneak stuff out here, but he doesn't know that. So he's going to fall back and build a Nexus. Get 2 more pylons as he's heavily supply locked. And Gak is free to do whatever he wants to do, and he chooses to build Speedlings. I don't think he will not be able to break in here. There's too much defense. Mother Core DPS, Stalker at the wall, 2 Stalkers at the wall to help me shield. Looks like he'll poke up here, but he should retreat upon seeing that there's not enough. I don't know, he's gonna go for it, but this Zealot is being extremely... Yeah, and he will run. He will run in the end. Realizes he can't break that, not cost efficiently at least. He will send this Overlord here to scout the Nexus, and it looks like he might see it before it finishes, and he'll be happy to see it just finishing, because he's very economically ahead. We'll see if he, taking that 3rd hatchery just now, at a nice healthy time. So we'll come here to confirm soon. We should see him go lair shortly. There it goes. Getting that Roach Warren, getting that +1 missiles. I don't think... Did he use this Evo Chamber for anything prior to that? Let's, no, I didn't. So he's just starting +1 missiles on that now. So Gak is sitting in a very nice spot. We have 2 defensive cannons here. Protoss is not going to be moving out anytime soon. These Zerglings are going to prevent any probes from sneaking out. Very quickly saturated natural here, but he heavily undersaturated his main in the process. Does not have as many probes as he thought he did. We'll start mining on that 3rd gas soon. Building another cannon here for defense. So at the very least, if Gak were to decide to go Mutilus, that might not be the best decision for him. But it doesn't have to. Gak is free to do whatever he wants here. He's up to 49 drones. We have a Robo done here for the Protoss. He's starting +1 air weapons at his Cyber Core, but he doesn't have a Stargate. So that's an interesting decision. He's gonna send this probe out here, but it's not gonna go anywhere. This Zergling is gonna pounce on it immediately. He will retreat that probe, but Gak will just, send another Zergling. Yeah, he's gonna send all of them. This probe's not going anywhere. It's picked off immediately. Protoss is stuck. Protoss is stuck in this base. He's gonna warp in more units, but he's on 2 base versus a 3 base Zerg. He has a decent army, but and the army he has right now could kill what Gak has, but he's got a problem, and the problem is that he has to go from here all the way down to here, and that takes well over a minute, and that's a minute where Gak could build a ton of units. So, despite the Protoss having a decent army at the moment, he can't take advantage of it. The instant he moves out, Gak will respond to him moving out, and as long as he doesn't move out, Gak is free to drone and build up his economy. He's got 12 drones on this 3rd base. Might be taking some more gases soon. Starting an Infestation Pit, just finished. Glade Reconstitution has a Hydra Den. He's getting all the upgrades. He's starting +1 care base. Should probably start +2 missiles in a little bit. And he's just free to, camp here. Protoss will continue to build up an army, and he will not be broken anytime soon by anything less than Broodlords. But the Gak doesn't care. It's 103 supply to 77, 65 drones to 48, and 48 is pretty much as high as the Protoss can go on probes right now. Any more, he's going to be heavily oversaturated. He is getting a Warp Prism, which that's a nice decision. I like that decision. Gak has no units at home, but he should, at some point, he should realize that that is a threat. You know, a sneaky attack. The Warp Prism is out. We'll see what he decides to put in it. He's going to put those 2 Immortals in it, looks like. And he will try to do something with them. This Overlord sees the Warp Prism. We'll see if Gak actually saw that. He's looking here now. Or no, that was the other player. He sees an Observer, he's going to find that, but he doesn't see the Warp Prism, I don't think. He's going to lose an Overlord here. So let's go back to the everyone view. This Warp Prism is flying down here. He's going to fly right by this Overlord. We'll see if Gak sees that. Pays attention to it. He does. Sees that Warp Prism, so he's going to react to it perfectly. He's going Swarm Hosts. Getting Enduring Locusts. Third is heavily saturated now. 158 supply to 91. Protoss has third on a bunch of pylons. He's heavily supply locked. These Robots aren't doing anything. No Robo for Colossi, so these Hydras are going to be pretty good as well. He needs to figure a way out. As one Zergling is continuing to just scout. Warp Prism will go in here now, but Spore is focusing down the Warp Prism, and Mortals are now fighting Zerglings. They're going to handle these Zerglings alright, but oh! The last second. Last Spore kills the Warp Prism. Both Immortals dead. So that harass does nothing. Just going to warp in more units at home. This one Zergling still happily patrolling. 6 more Swarm Hosts on the way to boost the 11 that are already there. He's going to move these out here, and he's just going to start to lay siege to this Protoss. He can, you know, the Warp Prism has been neutralized. He knows there's no probes on the map, no pylons on the map. So he's going to be very happy to just camp out here and start throwing free units away at this Protoss player. More Immortals coming out. The Immortal count is actually kind of scary. That is something that could be pretty good against these Swarm Hosts if they can get on top of them. He is going to burrow here and start to rally those Locusts out, though. And we'll see what the Protoss does when he sees them. He's going to have to retreat. He cannot engage. Loses a Stalker. Takes a few more shield damage. Goes on a Time Warp, and Gak is totally happy to throw away these free units to do damage. He's going to burrow again. There's no Observer with this army, so he can't actually attack the Swarm Hosts. He's going to do more warping in, but there's so many Locusts. Zealot dies, more Stalkers die, and there's a bunch of Roaches and Hydras here that are going to clean everything up. It was not a fight he was ready to take. I expect we'll see GG called soon. It's now 60 supply to a maxed Zerg. He's taking his 4th base. Hasn't started his Hive yet. I imagine we'll see him just double check to make sure there are no hidden Nexi around, but Gak is free to push up the ramp. He's probably going to take it slow and just rally his Locusts there, though. And he's got so many Locusts now, and there are so few units here, he's going to start taking down these cannons. We see a Dark Shrine going down. Void Ray's being chronoed out. Mortal dies. Photon Cannon's going to die here, too. The second Immortal might even die to this first round of Locusts. And that's a level of attrition that he's not ready to deal with. Another wave is coming, and he doesn't have the stuff to deal with it. Push up here. Looks like another Stalker's going to die. Another Photon Cannon's going to die. Another Stalker. This Immortal's going to be picked at. The Immortal will almost die. It's going to die to this next wave. He's going to mass Void Rays back here, but he doesn't have the economy or the Stargate count to build a bunch of them. And he's going to lose his cannons. He's going to lose his forge. Void Ray goes out, and he has the Observers there, but the Hydras are right nearby. He will focus down one Swarm Host, and he doesn't even get it. The Observers get picked off, so he has to retreat to Void Ray. GG. That's it. So that's the end of the series. Google Pigeon Rank takes it 3-1 versus Regroup. And Regroup is out. Google Pigeon Rank will be moving on to round 2 of the B-League Finals here. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.